Welcome to the Phlarpin Podcast. Phlarp stands for Park Hills Live Action Role Players. We are a medieval fantasy-themed LARP group that engages in unscripted combat against each other using padded LARP weapons and a shared combat system. We operate out of Park Hills, Missouri every Sunday from 1 until 5 p.m. It is our hope here at the Phlarpin Podcast that through the utilization of this platform, we can expand on the ideas and suggestions taken from our players in order to maximize player retention and to expand our player base. The Phlarpin Podcast is made possible by support from our players and listeners like you. If you would like to support us, please visit our Patreon, where you can do so for as little as $5 a month. Also, any engagement on our YouTube or Facebook pages is much appreciated, and thank you for listening.
Welcome to the Phlarpin Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon Fraser, or Davine Allman.
And I am Chris, or Eric the Red Bloodsucker.
And I am Jessica, or Mercer Stitch.
Congratulations.
And I am North, or Jason Smith.
All right. So what are we starting with today? We going to read the comments from the video to start?
Actually, I kind of want to explain this.
Oh, you want to explain the scene here first?
What's going on here? Yeah.
Okay.
Of course he does.
Well, he won, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you set it up like this.
That's okay.
You don't want to explain it?
No, go ahead.
Did you just want us to just go on with the rest of the podcast? Okay. Anyway, we had a competition for gingerbread houses, and nobody thought I was going to win, and guess what? I won. And you can probably tell which one is mine. If you can't, then you don't know me very well.
I think you should guess in the comments.
And I quit in like an hour before everybody else, and everybody else just kept going.
So you're a quitter?
No, I knew it was going to win, so.
I think you should
Then
guess.
you say you're done, not that you quit.
Oh, I was done way before everyone else. Yes.
Fiend.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe look for
that gives it away.
the most simple built one here, and you'll figure out which one it is.
I kind of gestured a minute ago too. Cheating. But anyway, mine's that one.
That's a lie.
That is
Totally
not
cat.
true. It doesn't matter. You can tell him which one's yours.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Why don't
So
you
this
tell
one.
him? Oh, okay.
That one right there.
That one's mine.
The castle.
Anyway, we just wanted to share that with you. I did.
You want to tell everybody which one yours was?
Which
You can tell
crappy?
him.
Which crappy one?
This
didn't
one was
win?
Mercer's.
Which, to be fair, I think should have probably won.
Yeah, it has the best roof for
It was
sure.
the most impressive.
Or is it? It's not roof. It's roof, right?
Roof. 2 O's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but when a dog barks, how do you spell that?
Bark.
Same way.
Like
Bark.
roof.
B-A-R-K.
Like roof. How do you spell that?
Same way.
Oh.
T-H-A-T.
Whatever.
Get it?
He got her.
But
Anyway, it was a fun time, though.
It looks like a fun time.
It was pretty cool.
exactly.
I really had no expectations to win, though. I got totally lucky.
Well, they thought you were a 10-year-old building that, so.
Also, I think mine being the last picture had something to do with it, because if you look through all of them and then you get to the last one, you're like, that one wins. You know, I think it's just
They
like
do
easy
say
to vote
the
for the
first one that you see and the last one that you see is usually the most memorable.
like out of a set of
Mhm.
images or. Oh.
Maybe. I don't know, because I had Toby's first, and I think he only got one vote.
It's sad.
And that's pretty cool because it has like
Yeah, his is pretty cool. Actually.
running water,
Mhm.
a toilet.
Yeah.
It's got an Xbox, a big screen TV,
Oh, yeah, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
surround
Yeah, it's
sound.
which is crazy for that small space.
Mm-hmm.
I might need to have him design a house for me.
He used to
Is it
build.
multi-layered and we just don't know it? Like, is there like a sub?
There's 2 floors.
There's 2
Oh.
floors.
Oh yeah, it's got a basement. Finish.
Okay, cool.
Finished, huh?
Yes.
It's right.
It's underneath.
can't see
Okay,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, cool.
I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been me and Macy have been adding little things, like little Christmas things, every week.
I try not to pay attention to it, but also
Did you notice that one up there?
I didn't. But here's the deal, right? It's after Thanksgiving. I don't care anymore. Like I'm cool with it now.
Bob.
It was before
everybody doing
the
this.
blasphemy was before Thanksgiving. That was the blasphemy. Now, after the New Year, when I show up and it's still Christmas themed, it's gonna be a problem again.
Oh, yeah.
That tree's got to be down after the New Year.
Listen, on stream, if it's not down, I will take it down.
What are you going to Grinch jump it over there?
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
He's going to be like Will Ferrell and Elf.
You make sure the camera's rolling before you do some craziness like that.
You said on the
Alright.
stream.
I will give you 2 silver to pull that off.
Bet.
But you have to do it like Will Ferrell and Elf.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Can I get the ornaments off first?
You better have them off.
Anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with North's feedback frenzy this time. Although we're just gonna read the comments. I think we're gonna kind of do it like the suggestion box where we split it up. I'm not gonna be necessarily the one to read them all, unless I just happen to be the only one with my phone out, which I'm the only one without my phone out right now, apparently.
Right.
And then based on those comments, I think what we're going to do, because we already did read through them a little bit, is we're not going to do any other segments besides just the recap and the suggestion box. We're going to see how that goes, and then I'm pretty sure the question at the end of North's feedback frenzy or whatever is going to be, do you like this version of the podcast better than the longer version when we do segments? So I guess all that out of the way, we'll jump right into...
North's feedback frenzy.
Okay.
I need
What do you need?
something to write with. I forgot to grab a pencil.
Oh, okay. Hold on. It didn't work. You got a pen or
dang.
something? Yeah, I
Is there a
tried.
pen sitting on that shelf over there? It's okay. I'll find one. You go ahead and keep doing what
No.
you're doing.
Okay. Do I need to move?
Nope.
Cool.
Okay.
Go ahead and start. I got your back.
Okay, so it looks like the first comment...
Are you
that is a
reading from
direct-
newest?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Oh, here we go, newest. So I guess just for the ones that didn't listen, the question back was last week was, do these segments add something, or do you not that interested in them, or what? Like, should we continue to do them? The first comment comes from Wilhelm. It says, I do enjoy the segments, but I feel like the suggestion box should remain the suggestion box. When Eric returns, he needs something for his segment instead of trying to tack his name on something that has been there the entire lifetime of the podcast. So I guess if we end up continuing to do segments, I guess maybe we'll try to get Eric a different segment.
And to be fair, that's kind of our fault because we kind of threw that on him. So I'm sure he could have came up with his own segment had we not been like, hey, read the suggestions.
right.
But either way.
And also, to be fair, like I said a minute ago, my segment could, like, if we end up going back to segments, I'll come up with my own segment instead of just reading the comments. I think we could all just do that together, just like the suggestion box, because really I'm not doing, it's very low effort on my part. I'm literally just reading comments. So,
Okay, so the next one is from Captain Bluebeard or Trinity. It says, I agree with Lynn. This is in reference to the Portal game, so this is a little bit different, but just agree with Len. 2 portals in Gambit could be better with enough participants. With the instant kill, the queue to res can get backed up. I understand Davin's point, but don't favor one player's fun, person with the glaive, over the enjoyment of the majority. Just my 2 cents. Okay.
okay. And he also has a response to the actual question.
The actual question
below
as
that.
well.
Yeah,
You want me to read that one
go
too?
Ahead. Yeah.
He said, I like the different segments. Sometimes the shoe drags on a bit, and it's nice to have something breaking it up. My favorite segment isn't even LARP related. It's Davin's Corner. Least favorite would have to be, and then a zippy emoji. Like, I'm not going there.
Fair enough.
So,
Want to read the next one?
Apparently mine are not in the same order as yours. So.
well, that's because you didn't click newest. Boop.
Oh.
See?
Well, that's helpful. Thanks.
So we're a couple down now. You're on this one here. But also, are we only reading the ones that are
Yeah.
relative to the... Okay, so I messed up earlier. So you don't have to read that one. We'll go down to the Hestons next, which is...
Okay.
Yep.
Hessen says, the segments are nice, but I do enjoy the recap. Personally, I'd like to see more shout-outs to players and play of the day moments that impressed you. Just as a cool shout-out for the players. As long as the content is entertaining, I think it's fine if it's not totally LARP-related. But trying to keep it more LARP-related isn't a bad idea. So,
Okay. Cool.
You want to read the next one, Eric?
Basically one more.
And this is from Lord Valnir. It says, I do like the segments. While I do think they need to be a little bit more LARP related, I don't think it really matters as long as the content is consistent and entertaining. I would have to say North's Feedback Frenzy is my favorite, mainly because I get to hear what other people have experienced and see their opinion on the questions that are asked. I would say my least favorite would have to be Lynn's, mainly because it doesn't exist.
I really don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But apparently she doesn't exist.
Lynn did do a segment on the last podcast, though, and I thought it was pretty
Linformation?
entertaining.
I was expecting a little more. Like when she read me the first comment, I was expecting like 10 facts about different animals.
I think it's cool that they were all about the same one, though.
Yeah. I just was expecting something different, that's all.
I thought it was funny. Mainly because you want a fish in your butt.
That's true.
And another comment on there, which was something that we had talked about last week. Apparently, Sarvok's last name is Ellendor.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay.
I liked that, actually. I went through and liked everybody's stuff except... Usually I like everybody's comments except for my own. Because I don't want to be that guy, you know?
Oh, you mean like the guy that votes for himself whenever you have a contest?
No, you
I
did
had
not.
a clear win.
No, you did
Clear
not.
gap. I was way in
He
the
win
lead.
by 1.
No.
No, he won by 2.
Did Len vote
Was that
for him,
close?
too?
Yeah.
Did Len vote for him as well?
No,
Okay.
No, she voted for somebody else, I think.
herself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did vote for
You
her.
guys are sleazy.
I remember that.
I mean, I wasn't going to call her out like that. I mean, it's cool to call you out. Because you're my brother.
It's cool to
I'm gonna
call you out.
I'm going to call...
Thank you.
I am.
Thank you.
You know what?
Enough of that. This is every week. Every week.
Well, we're going to have to change that up too.
Yeah. No more attacking me violently.
I think that's fine. Still acceptable.
There you go.
What, he's
Anyway.
big Kahuna boss around here? Whose table is this?
Mine.
I mean, it's Phlarp's, technically.
Got it.
Backfire.
I said, when you get the podcast moved out there, you take the stinking table with you.
Oh, so it's like legitimately Phlarp's.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm pulling up recap now. You
Okay.
guys ready for recap?
Yes.
Did you want to do the announcements about this stuff first?
Oh yeah, sure. We can say that for the people that weren't at Phlarp, we had some announcements today. We changes. We made several changes to Illidan's Gambit rules that we had kind of worked out previously, and we just hadn't made changes. And then also rules that we worked out kind of, I think, last weekend it was when we played it. So some of the changes include, or all the changes really include. One of them is we changed it so that while you have the glaive, your armor does not count. There is going to be a random beginning, like whoever gets the glaive to start with is going to be completely random from now on.
Which is what we did the last time.
Yeah, because that worked really good, I thought anyway. So also the glaive cannot be broken. That reflects in the rules now that the glaive cannot be broken. And also how the winner is determined has been changed. So it used to be that if you had the glaive whenever the timer went off, then you won. And whoever last had it whenever the timer went off, then they won. We've changed that now to if the timer goes off and someone has it, they win. If the timer goes off and no one has it, it's the next person who picks it up.
I do have a quick follow-up question to that then. So are you going to call the timer out loud when the timer's off, or would you just not saying anything and the next person that picks it up wins?
Not say anything, and the
Okay,
next person
that's how it
picks
should
up
be.
wins.
I just
Right.
figured I'd ask anyway. Okay.
And then also we have changed some rules or fixed some rules or added but in advanced combat. All these other rules are in advanced combat. One is about the looting mechanics of request loot. To break it down simple, you can go through the entire loot like you would to loot a coin. You're looting 1, looting 2, looting 3, looting 4, looting 5, success. And then instead of saying at the success, you say, after you say success, you say, I want something specific. The catch is they can infinitely deny that. So like I could request loot your hat or whatever. And if you wanted to give me your hat, you could. If not, you don't have to. Also, if you ask for it at any point out of game, like if it's clear that you're asking out of game, you get your hat back. Or if you loot the person back or somebody that has your hat, they have to give you that before they give you anything else, unless you just don't want it or something. Just to help, with like fun engagement with people looting each other's
No, that makes
swords
sense.
or weapons.
Yeah.
Or,
So like as a for
whatever.
instance, you kill me on the battlefield, I have my wallet on me. You'd be like, I request loot
Sure.
the $100 bill in your pocket.
Sure.
And I'd be like, here you go. Better than
Yeah.
giving you my copper.
Yep. And then I would go buy 4 gold.
I'm looting
with
you
it.
next week.
I ain't got no $100 in my pocket, I promise you that. I was just bringing up an example,
But do you go? The main point is, do go through the entire loot. Don't let them know that you're going to request loot until you're already done, because you still have to, like, you don't want them to deny the loot before you get the whole loot out, and then you not have to stand there. The pro is you can kind of take whatever if they agree to it, and the con is you don't know whether they're going to agree to it until after you've completed the loot.
So you're taking
Cool.
a chance. And if they tell you no, that you can't have that, they don't have to give you anything else.
Right.
Right. They
You're
their
taking-
loot.
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have a question. Let's say somebody dies. Let's say I die out on the battlefield and the three of you are out there and Eric loots me and he requests loot and I deny it. If somebody else tries to regular loot me, can I still be looted or am I free to go after that?
I would say if you're still under the bleed out rules, if you're still there long enough to allow for another loot, then yeah, you can still be looted.
Okay.
It's still, you have to be.
I think it should be like that.
Yeah.
I'm just.
And if you get, but if he requests loot you and someone else tries to loot you, you've already been looted. So they wouldn't have to give any money for that death.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Although I may need to make sure that that is reflected in the thing. That I don't know. I guess if the rules are the way they're stated, meaning if you got loot once, you can't get looted again, and if you haven't been looted, even if it was this successful request loot, if you didn't actually take the loot from you, then I guess the rule would still be, you could still be looted.
Yeah. I need to find out, like, what is, like, a hit candy item I can carry on me that people like so much they request it instead of my copper. You know what I mean?
Like candy bars or something.
Yeah, like I have, like,
dude,
full candy bars on me at all times, or, like, I request a Reese's and I just, like, pull out a full-size Reese's and hand that to people instead of a copper.
full-size Reese's?
What do you think?
I mean, I would loot that over your
Yeah,
copper.
exactly. It's a strategy.
I mean,
Big brain plays.
I'd rather just pay the quarter for the copper and let them loot that.
Buy your Reese's in bulk, I guess.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Also, you're assuming I die a lot, which I do. Actually.
Not as much as North, but you do.
And then also, this isn't, I haven't ran this by too many people, but, and I'm not necessarily opposed to, you know, taking a look at this or changing it back or whatever, but I think what we're going to do going forward is for you to be able to loot somebody, you have to have loot on you. To have loot, which is coins, loot is only going to consist of two things. It's going to be coins or magical / general store items. There are no magical / general store items right now.
Well, there's resources too, but I guess we're not getting into that yet.
Right, not yet. And you hold those a little differently anyway. But so right now, the only lootable thing is money. To loot money, you have to have money on you. To have money on you, I think we're going to say you need a loot pouch. So you absolutely have to have a loot pouch on your belt to put the money into. This is also to prove that you have loot on you. If you go to loot somebody and a marshal's like, hey, prove you have loot, you can open your pouch, and it's not a big deal to show them down in the pouch that you don't have any loot. If you keep your loot someplace crazy different than that, then it's going to be difficult to do that too, to monitor and make sure that people have loot when they're looting. So we're also doing that to make sure people aren't just looting people and stashing loot wherever, and then
we're just trying to keep it fair.
Yeah. Basically. So to summarize that, you're going to have a pouch on you to carry money, and the only way you can loot is if you have money already on you. Also, squires can no longer join a clan. We had some people join clans as squires, and then the next week they come out and they're like, okay, I want to leave this clan because I didn't realize that this wasn't a clan I'd want to be in, because that clan just kind of jumped on them and recruited them right from the beginning when they didn't really know what was going on. And it's also incentive to get a person through the squire test or whatever, or beyond squire. So it's also there for that reason, and also to not get people in a clan they may not be in if they took a little time to like figure stuff out.
Well, and it's also incentive for the lords to be able to kind of offer a little bit of guidance, because if you want somebody to be in your clan, helping them pass the squire test so that they can join your clan encourages people that have a little bit more experience helping the people that don't.
True.
Yeah.
True that.
And like they would be incentivized to help that person get through the square test.
Right.
Who dat?
True that.
Who dat?
What I do, gonna beat them saints.
Cool. And then another thing we changed or made sure that it's accurate in the rule book is mutilate. So the way mutilate works is if an ability states that it mutilates you when it kills you or whatever, then you get mutilated. For instance, a simple one is my drain life that I do as a vampire. If I drain your life, that mutilates you. It's like loot. If you've been mutilated once, somebody else comes up to you to do something that mutilates you, or like another vampire crawls up to drain your life, you can just tell them before they even start. You can say, hey, I've already been mutilated, to let them know. You guess I could wait till the end of it to be like a douche, but basically just let them know you've already been mutilated. And in addition to that, when you've been mutilated, you have to do your whole minimum bleed out time. I know that's a little weird wording, but if you roleplay your death, that normally allows you to half your minimum bleed out time. That no longer applies if you get mutilated. It doesn't matter if you roleplay or not. Right now, that's not a big deal because it's only 10 seconds. So if I come up and you're like at 2 seconds and I drain your life, then I guess you need to stay on the ground another 3 seconds to make sure that you're doing your whole bleed out, because I drained your life and it mutilated you. Or if you got killed with something that would mutilate your body, which there are abilities in the game right now that exist, that if they killed you with them, it would mutilate your body. That's
Smite is one of them.
Blood Pact actually mutilates you whenever you're done being Blood Pact. So you would have to lay on the ground your whole 10 seconds after as a skeleton. Although in that time you can no longer be looted, I don't think, because you're like the monster or whatever. But
but this does matter because it won't be too long. We're going to be moving out to property.
Right.
And then somebody's minimum bleed out becomes 100 seconds, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, 100 seconds is obviously like a minute and 40 seconds. That's a lot different than the 10 seconds you're waiting now. So that's why we have to learn, what some of these things do, like mutilate now. So, you don't want to be mutilated when you have to lay there for 100 seconds. That's a lot longer.
Especially if in the middle of a battle at your keep or whatever, trying to keep people from, sieging your keep or whatever, or doing whatever in campaign, and now you have to lay here for 100 seconds while the fight rages on without you or whatever. That's a big difference from being able to do it 50 seconds if you'd have roleplayed your death and not been mutilated. So,
How does that apply if you have a mutilated limb?
there's only one ability that you can do that with, and
cleave?
it's a pulverized limb, I think it's called.
Okay.
And it's a warrior ability. You can do it to a bleeding out player, and it specifically states in that ability how it works. But how I'll explain it. Whenever you do that, it mutilates it through death. So that particular ability mutilates your arm. It just means that your arm remains damaged through death. It doesn't get healed by the res portal. But you can use a cure ailment on it to cure it, but then you also have to heal it. Like you can get the cure ailment to make it so that now it's healable. Or if you went through the portal of Pandoom after you had a cure ailment, it would heal it.
Gotcha. Cool.
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, like for your bleed out time, though, does that make a difference if you have only a limb mutilated versus your... Okay.
In fact, someone
No,
could still
ma'am.
come by and mutilate your whole body, too. So if somebody come by and... You haven't officially been mutilated yet. It's just that one ability is a little weirdly worded.
Okay. I was just making sure I understood, like, if a limb got mutilated, I wouldn't have to take the bleed out time of if my whole body were mutilated.
That's fair.
Correct. If it specifically says your limb is mutilated as opposed to you. But yeah.
Cool.
And then the only other thing I changed was on the components for Circles of Power. It's a thing that you lay on the ground. It used to be 5 feet long of a rope that you would use, and you'd lay it on the ground. That wasn't a very big circle, so we revamped that to 12.5 foot rope. So now you can have quite a bit bigger circle. It's about a dining room size table. And that's it.
And that was Norse Feedback Frenzy. Actually, we were already way past that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing
That
like
was
announcements.
the announcement.
I butchered it.
There we go.
That's okay.
Goodness gracious.
Way to be, Davine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is what it is. All right.
All right.
Recap.
We are recapping.
What's the date on the recap?
Today is
Yeah.
Sunday, December 17th, 2023.
Yeah.
Right now it is approximately 6:32 p.m. It's about 42 degrees outside right now.
6:32.
So it's a little chilly.
Yeah.
Make sure you're bundled up if you go outside.
Yeah. Agreed.
So today we started with a costume contest.
Yeah. How'd that go?
All right. So the first contestant was Squishy.
Are we going to list all the We should do that. That's a good. You go ahead.
What they wanted shout outs.
Yeah, that's fair.
The second one was Heston Iverson. The third one was
North.
North.
You can say his name. It's okay.
And number 4 was Lynn. And apparently, yeah.
Yeah, just let that one go. Yep, keep going.
Yep. Number 5 was Trinity and myself.
Yeah, it was kind of a dual effort thing.
It was. It was great.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute.
And number 6 was Raven. Then
What's
there
that?
was...
Is this somebody's stopwatch that I gave them at the...
Yep.
Wow.
Then it was... Number 7 was Gregor.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 was Mercer Stitch. And number 9 was Rose
the heifer.
So,
you want me to tell you how it went?
please.
Okay, so in third place was none other than Mercer Stitch today.
Yay!
Good job.
Thanks for all the votes.
Give yourself a high five.
And honestly, just based, I can tell you this because I'm the one who took the votes. There was like a clear 1, 2, and 3 today. Like it was
really?
like these people received a bunch of votes and everyone else not really so much.
I think everybody did a good job, though.
There was some really bad butt costumes. You know what I mean?
Bad butt.
I didn't want to say the word. I didn't want to cuss. But for instance, I thought Squishy's costume was really cool today,
agree.
and she didn't place, which kind of sucks.
I voted for Squishy.
I know.
I know it's supposed to be anonymous, but
I know. I didn't vote at all. I probably should have just to mix it up a little bit. But most of the people that did the costume contest had the same costumes that they always have.
Right.
well, and also I have a rule.
Yeah, I
of,
added a little bit of stuff to mine. Got some glitter. Got a little light up.
Yeah. Did you
area.
place?
No.
Okay.
All right.
As a general rule, I don't usually vote for anybody that's wearing anything that I've made because I feel like it's kind of
I feel like that eliminates a lot of the competition.
right. So
As a
then
general rule.
it really narrows it down.
Yes.
Do you need this?
Continue.
So anyway, Mercer
So
finished
did you-
in third place
So you
today.
voted for Squishy just because she didn't wear any of your stuff.
Well, I mean, I liked her costume too, but it also narrows it down to where then I'm like, okay, I have 3 people to choose from. It's not so difficult for me to vote because
yeah,
I
that's
just.
fair.
Anyways, go ahead with your stuff.
Anyway, so this is more or less what Mercer Stitch was wearing today. She did a good job. And then Lynn, who was here on the podcast last week, she finished in second place. And she more or less had her same costume with a small addition.
Yeah.
So shout out to Lynn, second place in the costume contest today. And then in first place was Trinity and Eric the Red here. Trinity dressed as the Grinch, and Eric supported him by playing as Max, the dog.
Yeah, you see, I was Max.
I don't think that's Max. I think that's the Grinch.
Yeah, let's hear your Max.
Let's hear your Max.
Roof.
There we go.
Not bad. Not bad.
Accurate.
Anyway, after that, we did Last Man Standing. Someone want to take that over?
Yep. Last man standing. It looks like first was, or we'll start with third. Third was Mercer. Good job, Mercer.
Woo!
Second was, what the hell? Second was Rose the Heifer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing that happened today.
it was.
And first was Heston.
Heston Iverson.
He's back on the board.
And he also had a summon, which was kind of cool.
Oh,
He
yeah, that's
had a goblin running around with him, shooting people with arrows.
I just want to say, if I had brought my hammers today, that order would be a lot different.
Yeah, they all say that. If you would have had your hammers
I'm the
today, I would have
only one
targeted you
that-
from the beginning.
I'm the only one that has hammers, so how do they all say that?
I'm just saying they say, oh, if something was different. Well, you know what? If I wouldn't have died, that order would have been different.
Are you saying you're the only dwarf with a hammer? I feel like there's some dwarves listening right now that would be pretty offended by that.
Gosh, dang it.
I heard it myself.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's karma.
You know, Mercer's always talking about how she's bringing her A game,
Yeah.
but you forget your hammers. That's your A game.
Well, it's
And
mainly
she had
because
an excuse at the beginning of the day. She was like, because my belt won't work for it.
Well, I've busted the elastic things that hold the hammers on my belt. I busted them, so I didn't have
All
any
of them?
way to hold them. All but 2.
You could have had 2 hammers. Hey, guess what? You finished in third. Eliminate second place. Eliminate first place. Boom, first place.
Is that
Two
how that
hammers.
works? Ooh.
1, 2 hammers. 1, 2 people are ahead of you.
I'm about to give you 2 a 1-2 knuckle sandwich.
I'm going to give you a knuckle hamburger.
You better watch it.
Let's see. Okay, so for the team battle, this is a little bit complicated, but I have the starting team in a photo.
Cool.
Okay, so we played, obviously, team battle, and the winning team for team battle.
For both rounds.
Yes. Actually, so it ended up being 2-1, but the winning team was Torvald, Heston Iverson, Taki Mora, Mercer Stitch, Lynn, Raven, Wilhelm, Trinity, and I believe that is Heimdall.
Yes.
So that
Oh,
was the
yeah.
winning team.
Yeah, I think that's right.
There was some switches made, obviously, during that game.
No, that's Ditch.
No, that was Ditch.
Yeah. This was the team one. We won both rounds of that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That was the winning team. Congratulations to those players.
And it was a team battle where everybody had one additional life. So they had 2 lives total.
Okay. All right. Somebody want to pick up Uno Attack?
Okay, so we did another Uno Attack, and I don't remember if we have explained the game mechanics. But
I feel like we have.
Yeah, we have.
Okay. So in third place was Sarvok, and
Sarvok Elendor.
Sarvok Elendor, and he had 1 card remaining. 1.
Congratulations, though,
And
for a top 3 finish.
Yeah.
in second was Vix, and she had 2 cards remaining.
Congratulations to Vix.
And in first place was our very own Davine.
Thank you. Thank you.
4 cards.
Did you see my little joke at the end, though, where I pulled out 1 card? It made everyone think I lost. And they were like, you only have 1 card left? And I pulled out the rest of them. I thought it was clever.
It was really good.
I collected the cards at the res point, so I knew you were full of it when you pulled out only 1.
I wasn't really looting people, though. The only person I looted was Takimura, and it's because he got off a loot that I was trying to stop, and so I took his card away from him later on. I was like, you owe me 1.
Nice.
I took 1 from North, too, but at that point, the game was, like, pretty much over. There
I
was we
thought I
were in the
heard that
top
you
5.
took
It was
one
after
from me,
you
but-
said, it was after the Cinco de Mayo call.
Yeah.
Who made it into the top 5 with the other 2 people, was it?
I have no idea.
It was Takimura and Heston, I believe.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was chasing Heston around basically the entire game because of that summon ability he had.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even have to kill you. I'm just not going to let you summon another person.
Right.
Yeah, he kept summoning in
He
Greygor
even
with
is-
his ranged weapon.
Is that the same one where he was trying to do it and he, like, stunned you and started summoning immediately? Because he was
Yes.
trying to
Yes.
hurry up and do it.
Yes.
But
He
then
he didn't
technically-
stun me. He like rooted me in place.
Right.
And he obviously had 10 seconds, but I was a half a second in front of him because
By
I told him,
default,
I was
yeah.
like, you would have to do this. I told him before he did it. I was like, you would have to do this perfect because I'm going to be a half a second in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then technically he hit me with another root, but I was already on top of him, so it didn't matter. But why is that so funny?
Because whenever he did it, he said,
Yeah, he did.
So that was kind of funny, but either way.
Like we were up at the top of the battlefield over by the tree, and just clear as day, it was like you got done, and he went to throw another one. You're like this, and he's like, "Oh!" We're like,
Either way, he finished the top lad. So congratulations to Heston.
And also, just as a little, I think we could talk about this game for just a minute because changes were made from last time we played this game to this time to make sure that it flowed a little better. Did everybody think it went well?
Yeah.
Mainly
Yeah, it was
was
fine.
the timer at the end
Yeah.
was the main change. Something I did talk to, I think.
What
a little
was the
bit-
time? Just out of curiosity, is it going to be a set amount of time every time?
What we did this time is we waited till there were 5 people, and
The
then we
Cinco de
started a
Mayo
timer
call.
of 5 minutes.
Okay, so it is the same time.
But if there was a ton of people playing, I could see where we might need to up that and make it to where, like, when there's more people at the end, we start a timer.
That's
Like,
fair.
even if it's for the same amount of time. I don't know what it should be or whether it should be based on an equation or what, but I just feel like if there were, 30 people playing or something, or I don't know how many we had today, probably 16 or something like that,
Yeah, almost 20, I think.
then it would have been, you're going to end up with that much more cards in play that it takes them longer to completely get
True.
killed off. So it may be that we need to up that later on because the last 7 did last a minute. Like there were, I say minute, it was like 4 or 5 minutes of waiting for it to get down to the last 5. So,
That's fair.
But
Well, I spent my entire time chasing one person, so that's probably partially on me.
way to be.
Yeah.
and also
Shellfish.
to clarify on that game, because some people were a little bit confused on if they were supposed to say Uno when they came out with 0 cards or Uno
'Cause
when
that
they
makes
had
sense.
1 card left. But the idea is to say it when you have 1 card left on you, so that the people on the field know that that's your last lootable item that you have on
they
you.
can
So
perma eliminate you now by looting that. and then you won't res with it anymore is the idea.
Yeah, so there may be some rounds whenever you don't actually have to say it when you come out of the res point. So
I did hear some
In the
people
instance-
saying when they were coming out with no cards, like no cards left, which
Yeah.
I don't think that was a rule. Like that
No.
was
No.
And what you were saying is there are instances where it can happen where you go out with 2 cards, right? Or is it?
yeah.
yeah, you go out with 2, you get 1 looted, you have to pay 1 to res. So you technically don't ever res
you
with
skip the
1
Uno
on
stage.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that's where people got a little bit confused because they're like, well, I'm supposed to say this somewhere in here, but if you don't have any on you when you res, then
Right.
you don't have to say it.
Right.
Which is funny because, well, you were standing right there. Every single person basically that walked up to in the line during that game, I said, "What do you say when you res with 1 card left?" I said it to almost every single person.
Yeah.
They all said Uno, so I don't know where the confusion happened, but
I don't know. And some people were confused too about like with their very last card, they would hand it to me and then be like, well, that's it, I'm out. And I'm like, well, this pays for your last res. So like you can res one more time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, okay. So
which technically would give you the opportunity to go out and loot somebody else, so you could res
Right.
again.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So I think it's just we haven't played it very often. So people are still a little bit confused on how it works, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
That's,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun game. I mean,
you made it.
kind of, yeah.
I added to it.
And if
You did.
The Uno call thing was all me.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was brilliant, really.
Just lovely.
Just lovely. Anything to add to that?
no, I was gonna say if you have some comments on that game, or whatever criticism, whatever, just let us know in the comments
Sure.
Please.
or feedback on
If
that.
something's wrong with it, it wasn't my idea. That part of it wasn't. It was probably Davine's.
You're going to blame North? He had nothing to do with it.
That's why.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I only
actually.
come up with the bad ideas.
See, that makes sense.
That's
That makes
why
sense.
I said that. The next one we did was ditch with a D.
Not a W.
No.
So I don't have... I got the team captains. That's all we have here. But I do have the winning team, which was the Monsters, wasn't it?
No.
No, I think it was the Heroes.
It was the Heroes. Okay.
Was-
They won pretty much back to back, I think.
Okay,
So might have
so
won one of them in there, but
does somebody want to run through these?
Pretty sure Lynn's team won the first 2 and lost the last round.
That doesn't even make sense.
What do you mean?
No, it was 1-1, and then Lynn won the last one, because otherwise it would have been over.
No, I think the way that we had started doing it is even though it was the best of 3, we were doing a 5-round thing.
And we just ended up doing 3.
And we ended up doing 4. Because,
No, we did 3.
okay, then we did 3.
Okay.
Because it was
But-
Lynn, and then...
And then the Monsters won.
Monsters
one.
won.
Okay, so either way, Lynn won, so
Just
she was
said
right. Okay, I didn't realize that
yeah,
happened.
this is the no shields. Yeah. So Lynn's team consisted of, I'm pretty sure it was
And to be fair, we're saying Lynn's team because she was the team captain for that
Right.
team. She chose this team, so
right. Was I think, unless I'm getting it wrong, it's the last picture, right? That one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. It is Heston, Trinity, Sarvok,
Karloff.
Gregor, Karoff,
Mm-hmm.
Vix, and Lynn.
There you go. So congratulations to that team for winning Ditch.
Yep.
And I'm
And they
sure we've
did-
explained Ditch before, but
Probably.
just
And
a
probably,
team. Yeah, it's just a team battle where you have heroes versus monsters.
And then and when you lose a round, you lose one of your players, or
Yes.
when you lose a round,
You pick a
you
player
get
from
one of
the other
players.
team.
Yeah. And I will say they did a pretty good job because we had them really outnumbered on that last round, and they still won. So.
Yeah, it was kind of impressive.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, it was helpful too that they had Heston on their team because he was able to summon another person to come in for him, which gives you almost an extra player. But they are one-hit kill,
A
so
big silly goblin.
yeah. I don't know who played that guy.
Me neither.
It wasn't worth talking about.
That's probably
And
true.
then for the last event of the day was Minion,
Mm-hmm.
and the winner of that was Vix.
Yep.
Shout out to Vix.
Yeah,
Good
it was
job.
pretty cool. She hadn't been out in a little while, and it was a lot of fun having her out there on the field.
Agreed. I like people who. I mean, I want all our players back. You know, like there's some players that we haven't seen in a while that I genuinely miss. You know, so I wish they would come back. I don't know if they watch this podcast or not, but you know, a few names come to mind. So
I do know that I can't remember his character name, but the person that pulled up as we were leaving, put a
Yeah.
comment in the chat.
Merrick?
Yes, Merrick.
Put a comment in the chat that they were moving back down here and should be coming out within the next couple weeks.
That'd be awesome.
So
Love to see him.
Yeah, I agree. I talked to him for a minute before because he was there looking at the lights or whatever. So, and then he said the same thing to me.
I just yelled from the pavilion, and then I ended up with a DM going, "Was that you?"
Nice.
it was kind of dark
was
down
me.
there.
It was.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
And that was our recap
True. So that
Okay.
just leaves a suggestion box.
Yep.
suggestion.
There are already
Yeah, they're
out
already
there.
here.
Yeah.
I'm just spreading them around. Why was the snowman standing on the sidewalk?
Why was the snowman standing on the sidewalk?
So that's where he was built.
Yeah.
Because he heard the snowblower was coming.
That's funny. It's very clever.
I mean, it makes sense.
I got a moo moo moo. Great day. Moo.
Nice. I bet I can guess who that's from.
I bet you can't.
Moo.
This is good.
It was Eric the Red.
Yep.
It was Max.
It's Max.
Go ahead, Eric.
Will quarter staves be implemented in future updates?
We are still going to address the exotic weapon thing. I just haven't got to where I'm organized enough, and I'm assuming that's what that is in reference to. Implemented in quarter staves. What does this
I
mean?
believe it's staves, probably, is what that's supposed to.
So does it mean a short staff?
Yeah, I would imagine.
I mean, there is the possibility that monks start with a shorter type weapon that only stuns, but I mean, it would probably not be better than a short weapon that just kills, but you know, whatever.
Teach your own.
So yes, probably. I think if I understood that question correctly.
Okay. I got
Yeah, go ahead.
a shout out to the best goblins, Davine, Gregor, and Starvok. They did work.
Oh, hey, I
Thank
role-played
you.
hard.
Thank you, thank
okay?
you. Actually-
this was the summons. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah. I will tell you this. All right.
What's it say?
I genuinely, and I appreciate it. Granted, I was exhausted. Being the goblin is tiring, dude. I was running back and forth because he would I would die, and then I have to run all the way back across the field in order to be summoned again. Mm-hmm. And when the one game was over, I just laid down on the ground because I was tired. And I had two different people come over and compliment me on how my goblin was. And I was just like, well, I'm tired. I don't want to do that again. But appreciated. Thank you.
It was very good.
I got a
I know
couple here.
my feelings were a little bit hurt
Why?
because he started walking over to the field and he was looking at me like he was walking toward me. I said, "Did you need something?" And he said, "I don't know. Hold on." And then he asked you if you would do it for him, and he was like, "No, I don't need nothing." I was like, "Thanks."
It's brutal.
All right. Well,
Second
you just
fiddle.
yeah.
I mean, you get it though.
I mean, at least I was a runner-up, I guess.
That's true. That's true. He was willing to accept your help if I couldn't.
Yeah.
I would have
willing
done it,
to
but,
accept.
I would probably not have fought as hard as you did. So I would have died immediately. It would have been awesome.
Do you
but
still
I
have
would have
two?
died.
Everybody still
I
have
No,
two?
this
I
one's
have one,
blank.
and it's a joke.
All right, let me do this one then. For clarification, and also before I read this, I want you to know that the marshals got together specifically due to North's request, and we talked about this beforehand, so all the marshals were aware of this. But it says, for clarification, when lightning bolt hits someone, it is a disarm to the specific limb it hit or a full disarm. So this is honestly kind of whatever. So
And actually,
It's
it's
not
kind of inaccurate.
yeah, I know. So it's not necessarily just the limb it hit. If it hit a weapon even in a specific hand, then that's disarmed. And also, if it hits the limb, right, then that would be disarmed, that arm, right?
I think if it hits you in the meat, meaning don't ignoring armor. If
Right.
it hits you in the body, it disarms you everywhere
Okay.
and does damage to that limb if it's a limb.
But if it hits the weapon, is that arm gone?
No,
No, it just disarms, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Because that was a little bit of confusion today. We were talking about it.
If the lightning bolt, it's like saying the lightning bolt, if it strikes you, it's going to damage the limb and then electrocute you, so it's going to disarm you everywhere. If it just hits the thing, it just electrocutes your hand and makes you drop it. It doesn't actually damage your hand.
Okay.
And
Is-
if it
is
were to
how
hit
I
the
was-
if it were to hit the body, just full disarm, or is it lethal?
You mean in the torso?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kills you.
Okay. Cool.
And actually, it would mutilate you just like so that there's a pro to it. Outside of just killing you, it also actually mutilates you, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I got one more. Oh, go ahead. Mine's
I
a joke.
worry for the future of the kingdom. The lords need to have a war council meeting about how we will recover.
War council meeting.
Ooh,
Recover from what?
who knows? That's what it said. He just reading a suggestion.
I just read it. I'm a dumb Eric the Red.
I'll
And then-
remember that. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for later.
That's why I'm the ambassador.
And then this one is the last one. It says, why doesn't Santa have any children?
I know the answer to this, but I won't ruin it.
Don't read it.
I know the answer too.
I've
Do you
said
know?
this. I think
Do you
I've
know?
said this on the podcast during Davin's Corner once.
These idiots aren't. Just say, I don't know.
I don't know.
Thank you.
These
You know-
idiots?
He only
Idiot.
No, we gotta reread the whole joke from the beginning.
Why doesn't Santa have any children?
I don't know why.
Thank you. Because he only comes once a year, and it's in a chimney. Were you right, though?
Yeah,
Did you know what
yeah.
the-
Wow.
I didn't know that it's in a chimney part.
Wow.
And I actually have the last one, and it says, "Great day. Thank you, Flarpers."
And actually, to be fair, the version of the joke that I had heard was, why does Santa have such a big sack? Because
okay.
he only comes once a year. So it was a little bit different.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have the last one. I don't have the last one. You do.
Did you say you had the last one?
He said he had the last one, and then I was like, actually, I do. And then I realized you still have one.
For what it's worth, you're not the only dumb one at the table.
Yay.
Okay,
He's
so
talking
this
about
one,
you.
this one says, suddenly everyone is after the wizard. Not sure why. I have an answer. Because I was one of the ones after the wizard. Because you can summon.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
summon?
the wizard turned into like what, level 5 now?
Yeah. He's kind of a tough task now.
Everybody
I don't
was-
want him to have a goblin running around with him too.
Everybody was like trashing him, and then now all of a sudden,
Who's trashing him?
everybody else?
Not me. That guy's in
Uh-huh.
the top 3 of Last Man Standing
you
every
trashed
week.
him all the time.
Oh, get out of here.
Don't
You
lump
do-
me in the everybody category.
You
Yeah.
did too.
I did
No,
not.
That's just a
You
lie.
did,
This
you
is cap.
dwarf.
I don't trash nobody but this guy
Yeah, that's
See?
fair.
and this guy sometimes.
I hate her.
Hate is such a foul word.
Also, do you want to talk about your little showdown with Takimura before we leave? Because
Oh.
I have footage of that, and I'm going to put it right here.
Perfect.
Continue.
So last week we were talking about potentially doing the 1v1s again, and I kind of called Taki Moore out on the podcast because, to be fair, he calls me out every week. He comes at me. He's like, I want to challenge you. Every week during Last Man Standing, he starts with fighting me, which is really a bold move. Shout out to him. I appreciate it because eventually he's going to kill me.
I appreciate it too. It eliminates one of you.
Oh, wow. Anyway, so we started again today, and I was just like, you know what? It's on video. I'm gonna have to do my thing. So I took his legs. And I was sitting there taunting him. Eventually, I finished him off, and then he just sat there. Was like, die. So he fell over. He did the role play death finally for me after I told him to. But it was a good time. I really genuinely appreciate the banter that we have.
Right. Yeah, it's good to have a rivalry like that.
Yeah, and he totally, he started it, and I love it. He calls me old man every week, which I am an older elf in the game, so, I don't know, I genuinely appreciate it. He has made, to me, he's made the game a lot funner, so.
Funner.
Funner.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think funner's a word?
I mean, you do you.
It's a word.
Yeah, so what are we talking about?
What we're talking about is I
Made up
challenged
words.
North to a 1v1 last week also, and guess who didn't do it? This
Did
chicken over
you
here.
seek him out today and ask him?
I said, "What's up, bro?" And he just walked off.
What's
up,
up, bro?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
That's your challenge. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
I'm saying that to you next
he
week, and you
chickened
better
out.
understand.
What's up?
He still.
Okay.
You
Yes.
said, "Okay, I will," and you didn't do nothing.
You said, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
And I said, okay, I will.
No, last week I challenged you to the 1v1, and you said, "Okay, I will."
Yeah, but, okay.
You also didn't have
Oh,
your hammers.
chicken.
Do you want to fight him in a 1v1 without your hammers?
Yeah, I would.
You're not worried about him?
No.
That's
I'll
fair.
fight you right now. Put up your
Insert
dukes
insert North in handcuffs. No?
right here.
We'll laugh later if there's a photo on the podcast.
It seems like there was something else I was going to talk about real
I got
quick.
some shackles in there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot remember what it was.
There's probably a lie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess let us know if you enjoy this form of the podcast, even though we still went for 50 minutes.
Did you ask
How did
another
we
question?
do that? Yeah, we asked a question.
It was, do you prefer this form of it, or do you want us our little segments, or are you fine without them, or what? Like, are we wasting our time creating content for the other segments, or does anybody care?
That's fair.
All right. Well, we hope you keep listening.
And
We hope you keep fighting in the name of our capital dollar shit.
And
we hope to see you all next week.
bye.
Bye.